Hey everyone, so it is Erin Chung, and I teach creative real estate agents how to generate leads on demand so that way they can grow their real estate businesses on autopilot. Today we have a success story, and I'm talking with Mariah Burke. And so, Mariah, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to us? I want to know who you are, where you're from, and what your role is in the business.
Hi, Erin. As you said, my name is Mariah. I'm a real estate assistant to my husband, who is a realtor. His name is Joseph Burke, and we're in Calgary, Alberta.
Awesome. Perfect. So I want to know, do you happen to remember how you found the academy, or like how you stumbled across this? Like, how did you find me? Do you remember?
I am like 90% sure it was on Pinterest because, and I was just searching like social media for realtors, trying to, pick up that side of our business, I guess.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's true because I remember a post like about a year or two ago where
Yeah.
I think that's what you said. And I just, that like post popped into my mind just now. So I'm pretty sure I said this actually. So that's awesome. Cool. So, let us know just like what was business like for him and for you, for you running the marketing side. What was it like before joining LSA? Like if you can think back to back then, like just give us an insight on the struggles and the things that were going right and wrong and all of those things before on the marketing side.
Okay, for sure. I was actually pregnant when I found LSA, and I was about to go on maternity leave, and so my income kind of was always our like steady income, and my husband, obviously, as a realtor, like your income is like it's good, but then sometimes it's like not there for a
Sure.
while. So we were kind of like, what can I do to help? And so we decided I'd take on more of like the administrative role in his business. So we had kind of tried to do some real estate, like advertising, I mean, on Facebook before we joined LSA. And we spent a lot of money and got no leads. And so it was kind of a hard sell for my husband because he was kind of like, I don't think social media works. Like there's no way. We've already tried it, but we were literally just boosting posts to everyone. Like everyone in Calgary between 18 and 65 was seeing it, even though, it was not relevant to a lot of people. So um yeah, we spent a lot of money before. It was kind of a hard sell. And then I really felt like the pressure to make it work right away because my
Yes.
husband's like super results driven. So I feel I kind of zoomed through the academy. I implemented kind of as I went. And then again, it was kind of like, oh, yep, there's, a few more expenses, which was,
Yes.
great. Not so great, I should say, for my husband, who was kind of like, well, I could also just go door knocking for free. And, he comes home with 5 numbers a night, and, those are like immediate results. Um, but yeah, so I was like, no, just give me some time. Let me try this. Just give me a little time to implement it. And we did. And, and then again, at first we just started having, a lot of people who would only sign up with email addresses. And my husband's like, oh, you want the phone number. Why is no one signing up with the phone number? Blah, blah, blah. But we actually I just kept serving we would send biweekly newsletters. Okay. Biweekly, like twice a week, not like every other week, with like a blog post or a YouTube video, and then a weekly events one. And we just kept serving and serving and serving. And then pretty recently we just once in a while we always left at the bottom of the email, we'd say like, for all of your real estate needs call
Yeah.
Joseph Burke. But then recently we just sent out an email that was like, hey, I need your help, you know um, as you know, I'm a real estate agent in the Calgary area, and right now is a great time to be buying. So if you're thinking of buying or selling in the next 6 months, or if you know someone who's looking to buy or sell in the next 6 months, send us an email. Like, we'd love to chat. And we got I think close to 30 hot leads from that. Like, it
Are
was
you
wild.
serious?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my
So
God.
it was kind of like, and this is what I tell everyone is like, social media is great. And it's something I think you should learn and do well, but it, not necessarily be right away. Not everyone's results come right away.
I feel like that's true though with all forms of lead generation, because it's like
Mhm.
if you were door knocking, cold calling, I mean, they always tell you you have to give 6 months to 18 months runway. So I feel like this is really no different. It's almost like this is like the new cold calling and door knocking when you're prospecting. So I totally understand that, like when you're saying, okay, well, it'll take about 6 months time, that actually makes perfect sense to me. I mean, I could see it even taking a little bit longer, but like I think all forms of real estate lead generation are like that. It's
Totally. And I mean, you have to like serve before you sell, right? And like serve before you ask for things, which I think is like kind of why now, people are so willing to just be like, yes, I am looking, or like my best friend is looking, or, my mom or whatever. So,
I
yeah.
love that because like that's one of the things I think a lot of salespeople in general, but especially real estate agents, what I see is that they want immediate results, like a silver bullet. And it's like, I just ran an ad and then all these people opted in and now they need to like buy and sell with me right away. But it's like some of them may not be looking right away. We're trying to buy a house right now. And this is a conversation that we started months and months ago. And like we've been on all of the platforms and on the MLS and all of those things looking, but we're not ready to move tomorrow, so
Totally.
sense, right? Like that you would need to warm up the leads and to nurture the leads while you're going through that process. And so I'm actually really proud of you guys because I personally know how quickly you zoomed through everything, because it was almost like your first post was like, you were like, how do I convince my husband to help me to get this? And I'm like, this woman, like, I love her already. So like, and then after a while, I swear it was like maybe only like a couple of weeks, I want to say. And then you were posting in the group and you were like, oh my God, like we just got our first leads and like, we're so
Yeah.
excited. I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And so I'm so glad that you guys kind of kept your eye on the prize, because it's easy to give up, especially in all forms, again, in real estate lead generation, where you're like, oh, no one's buying and selling right now. But because you guys kept up with it, you put your community first. And like you said, serving before selling, love that. And it's like you guys are getting all of the fruits of your labor now, which seems like it's great because you've put in a lot of hard work. I know you have, Mariah. I know you have.
Oh, thanks, girlfriend. I also feel like, I mean, my next door neighbor is like she runs a pretty successful social media account for church here. And she said that you don't necessarily have to be the best at social media. You just have to be different. And I think that's like the greatest thing about LSA is like, it gives you a way to stand out above the other, or just like maybe not above, but like separately from all the other agents in your area that are just like, come to my open house and, get a free home evaluation, even though no one in the history of home evaluations has ever paid for one.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know. I think it just, yeah.
I like that because I tell agents well, that, I mean, like, so I started off the show, like I help creative real estate agents. And I feel like a lot of agents, they have this in them. They want to build a personal brand. They want to, be creative and have fun in their lead generation. And they've never really had an opportunity to do so because cold calling and door knocking, you can only do that so far. Right. So I feel like with this, like community influencer marketing, it gives people an opportunity to actually show a creative side. And I agree with your neighbor 100%. Like, I actually really love what she said, because you do need to be creative and to stand out. And if you have that in you and you feel like you can do it, like it's a fun way to generate leads. So I really like that a lot. And I also wanted to point out the fact that you guys did a Christmas video. And I remember you posted that in the group and it was around Christmas time and it was genius. It was so smart. Tell us just a little bit about what the content of the video, because I want people to know. It was so great.
Yeah. So my husband, like, I swear, grew up in Whoville. Like, he loves Christmas. I have never met someone like, we decorate November 1st and and we leave it until like the end of January. Like, and my daughter's the same way now. Like, she watched The Grinch this afternoon. She's so, and it's like August.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, he just kept being like, I really, really want to do like a Christmas. I want to do something around Christmas and whatever. And I just kept being like, okay. And my son was up all night because he was a baby. And my husband called me at 9 a.m. and was like, I want to do a real estate like video, but like the night before Christmas, like 'twas the night before Christmas and all through the house, you know. Anyway, so we did it. We brainstormed. We set up our living room to look all Christmassy. He got all like in his like ugly sweater, had his little eggnog, and he was so cheesy. But I think that's what made it so good, was that he very clearly didn't take himself seriously. Like, it was meant to be kind of funny, lighthearted, but you know, yeah. Anyway, people like recognized, like we were in the grocery store like last month and people were like, hey, aren't you that guy from that Christmas video?
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
I am. So I like, again, like, it's like, you just have to be different, like think outside the box, and it sticks out in people's minds. Like, they're like, oh, remember that realtor who did that like funny Christmas video?
So just to backtrack for a second. So initially when you first started the program, you had to kind of a little bit convince him to know like this was the way to go. And then now he's telling you that he wants to do the Christmas videos.
Oh yeah. Like, he is so on board now, and he actually loves it too, because we've kind of shifted our focus. I mean, numbers, I think, are always going to be like your number one, like, way of reaching people. But when people, like, he still does door knocking, you know, it's like his lead generation. And we often will just like retarget the areas that he's just knocked in. So they'll be like, oh, that guy was just on my doorstep, or, you know, whatever. But that's also like, now he has another way to be like, okay, well, if you don't want to buy or sell your house, like, we have a weekly list of events that comes out every Thursday. If you want, like, to just give me your email, and you will never miss a thing in Calgary area.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And like, so many people are like, oh yeah, sure, I would do that. Like, that doesn't sound salesy. So yeah.
I love the fact that you guys are collecting leads, and even though you don't always have a phone number, I teach agents this all the time. There's so many other ways to communicate with people now that don't have anything to do with phone numbers. You have messenger bot lists, you have email, you have social media following, you have YouTube subscribers, like the list goes on and on and on. So I'm also proud of you guys, because you didn't let the fact that like some people didn't want to put their phone number, because let's face it, no one wants to put their phone number and no one wants to be called, right? So that stop you. You guys just kept moving forward, because obviously some people were reading your emails, even though they never responded right away when you guys said, hey, you know, are you looking or thinking about buying and selling? And then all those people came to you guys and said, actually, yeah, I do know someone, or I'm thinking, or those types of things. So that's awesome that you guys were able to overcome that too. So
yeah, I think it's just like, I don't know, I think it's shifting your mindset too. Like, you know, my husband's friends with a lot of other agents, because who else would he be friends with?
Yeah.
And his one friend, like, when we put out a list of like markets, like Christmas, there's like a ton of like local markets. So it's kind of a big thing around here during Christmas time. And we put out a big list of them, and people, like, we had like over 150 people opt in. And we were, you know, telling his friend, we were like, yeah, we got over 150 leads. And he was like, but were they real leads? And I'm like, yeah, maybe like they're not looking to buy or sell today, but like at some point they're going to want to buy or sell. And it's better to have, you know, 150 names who now you can retarget through ads, or who you can, you know, have a way of contacting every week, and having those touch points, than not having those 150 names at all. So.
And those 150 people may not be in the market to buy and sell right now, but those 150 people may know someone or multiple someones who are. So you should always be collecting local leads at all the time, so that you can constantly fill your pipeline, because if you're only collecting leads from buyers and sellers, that'll dry up really, really fast. And then also, like you said, like you guys are so good at, and I've seen your videos, like you guys are really good at nurturing your leads by creating a lot of content, like you said, serving before selling, and you're nurturing these people and serving before selling. When you do put out those blasts, like you just talked about, they're more than willing to raise their hand because you guys have been there the entire time when everybody else fell off.
Totally. I totally agree. But anyway, it was a really good investment. The other thing too, I'm like, it is not expensive at all. Like I'm like, we spend more on your like door knocking materials every month than it would have been just to, you know, sign up for LSA. I'm like, just let me try.
Yes.
I know I can do it.
Yes.
But if it works in cities of 100,000 and in cities of like millions, then you know it can work anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And if people are good, you can too.
It's weird because it's like, it almost works better in smaller towns because you have less competition. So you're like the big fish. So that's like the best position.
I feel like real estate is one of those industries where people are like just left behind. Like everyone is like in their 50s and 60s. They're like, no, just send out flyers. It's fine. You know? And you're like, I don't think that's the way the world is going. Like everyone's going green. No one wants papers anymore. Like, and everyone's on their phone all the time. So where else are you going to get in front of their face?
I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, if newspapers and flyers and, you know, if that's where the eyeballs are, that's where I'll go. I'm not partial to any platform. I go where the eyes are, you know? So
yeah.
Perfect. Well, before we wrap up here, is there anything else that comes to mind that you want to say or talk about, like anything at all that people should know before we close out?
No, I don't think so. I just like, I don't know. I know, you know, I'm like such a huge advocate for LSA. I think like there's not a program out there that's more thorough and easy to follow and like just like literally holds your hand the whole way. You don't even have to think about what you're doing. You just have to do exactly what you say. So thank you so much for making such a great program and for like always keeping us updated too on all the changes and stuff going on. And yeah, I appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much. Well, I appreciate people like you because you're always in the group. You're always like commenting. I mean, literally since the time that you joined, you've been like such a guiding light in the group. And so I just want to say thank you because you really like, I remember you when you were just like in the free group and like asking me questions and then like
a little baby.
Yes.
Like, hey, you're like, mama's letting you go. Spread your wings, girl. Please.
Yes. And then when you joined, I was like elated. So just thank you for everything that you do. Like you really are like such a bright light. So thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you in the group. And obviously I will be talking to you very, very soon, I'm sure.
All right. Sounds great.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.